That's it?
That's it? By that, I assume you're talking about Oron Haze's Solitude on Canvas.
It already has a name?
What do you mean already? It's a finished painting.
Wait, Oron Haze? You mean to tell me you purchased this painting? If you can call a blank canvas a painting.
Well, I'm sorry, Pollock. I didn't know when you told me you wanted a painting to fill up our wall that you wanted me to go and hand make our own decor. Yes, of course I bought it. Where else would it have come from?
Where else would it have come from? Judd, from the looks of it, I would guess it came from Hobby Lobby's 50% painting supply aisle.
It's from the gallery. Up on 8th, the lady there said Oron Haze's work speaks on the meta-commentary of viewing art itself, and Oron Haze's Solitude on Canvas is a prime example of such.
How much did this cost you?
It's art. It doesn't matter. Placing a price on such...
Judd, how much did this cost you?
$2,000. But you know, the work in the gallery is all professional. Solitude on Canvas was one of the few pieces I could afford, and even then it was a reach.
Because you could have easily made it. Heck, I could have made it. Oron Haze is no better than a child. What actually happened when you bought it?
You know what the gallery is like. Tons of high-end art pieces that are almost impossible for the average person to understand.
Maybe because there is nothing to understand.
Listen, I was wandering around the gallery, looking at the art, when I saw it. Solitude on Canvas, hanging there by itself on a wall. It was massive and drawing and empty. I couldn't help but think about it. Isn't that what art's all about?
Makes you second guess yourself? Spending $2,000 on a painting of absolutely nothing? Remember, Judd, the canvas is blank. It's a big square of white. How can anyone create white? Anyone could attach a story to anything. Oron Haze doesn't own the idea of white, and even if he did, we don't even know the story of it. Can we even call this art if it has no meaning to us?
I told you, I was looking at the art when the gallery employee came up to me.
Isn't he a genius? The critique on viewing art whilst looking at nothing but your own solitude.
Nothing! She said so herself. There's nothing on the painting but solitude. It's nothing.
It's not a painting of nothing. It's a painting of the viewer. It's a painting of...
Judd, nothing. It's a painting of nothing.
It's not a painting of nothing. It's nothing with a story.
A story you don't understand. The woman may have known it, and to her, she sees the art portion of the piece, but you don't. You don't know the story, and if the story is the art. You are unable to see the actual art portion of the piece.
A lack of understanding doesn't mean there's a lack of meaning. If I were to give you a book that's written in a completely different language, would you not be able to call it a book just because you can't understand it?
This book, however, is empty. Can an author release a book with no words at all? It's not a book if there's nothing to read. This canvas is completely solid and provides no context to understand it.
Maybe that's the point. It's empty. It's solitude. The context is the white on the canvas.
But is it Oron Haze? How can he say he owns the painting when it's just the color white? Can Oron Haze even say he owns his own work?
Explain?
I'm just saying, Solitude on Canvas is a white painting. Can anyone own that? Oron Haze didn't invent white. How can we say this painting is really his?
The imagery itself might not be his, but the idea behind it all is.
What if I were to just take a toilet and attach some avant-garde meaning to it? Would it be art?
Oron Haze painted this for a purpose. You taking your urinal, toilet, or whatever doesn't have true art meaning. You didn't create it.
So now for something to be art, it needs to be created? Oron Haze didn't invent white. The white reflects the art market in today's economy. It's stale. Can art exist so vividly for someone just because they were able to be let in on a secret about its creation, and yet remain as an unfinished canvas to another? That's what this means.
You really think so? Because the lady at the gallery...
No, Judd. That isn't Solitude on Canvas's story. That's my story. My story for my painting. If creating a story and utilizing content is the point of making art, then all I would have to do is create a story and call it my own. Bam! It's my painting. My painting with my story. It's my art. Is the white really the painting? Or is it the name of Oron Haze attached to it that gives it meaning? What makes Oron's painting so much more dynamic than mine? Is my art less artistic than his just because you didn't pay $2,000 for it?
Maybe Solitude on Canvas doesn't have a story at all. Maybe this idea is the whole point.
Do you think that's art?
That's it.